Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Elle'vate, the podcast dedicated to elevating women and all of their amazing accomplishments. And today you have myself, Tracy Huff, the confidence coach, and you have Ferris, the Ferris agency, and you have the amazing Ebony Walker with us today, who is the owner of Walk Upright, and she loves to write. Get it? Walk Upright, right? W-R-I-T-E. Yeah. She loves doing content creation, ghostwriting, copywriting, content writing. If you hate writing, she loves it. So call her, right? We don't have to do things we hate. We do too much of that already. And she is most proud of herself for hearing people say that she helped them with accomplishing their dream. And she was honored as the HE Magazine's Servant Leader of the Year for 2021. Welcome, Ebony. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for that introduction.
Oh, you're so welcome. So we got to know, why writing? Why? I'm a martial artist. I love hitting. I can tell you why I love to hit all the time. Casey loves marketing. She loves it. But why writing?
Why writing?
Yeah.
So honestly, writing saved my life, if I can just put it, bluntly.
Oh, nice.
As a child who was a part of, let's just say, not the greatest environment. Unfortunately, my mother and father at the time were addicted to drugs, and I actually had a speech impediment. I stuttered horribly. So writing was my way of escape. So anytime I wanted to escape reality, I would write poetry. I would write songs. I would write letters to God. I would just write because what I was trapped in was so detrimental. But as a child, you don't know how to fight being in the midst of drug-infested homes and sexual abuse and all of these other things. So writing became my way out. As I got older, when I got into college, I began to write papers for friends, help them with their dissertations, do their research papers. I just loved writing. And honestly, when Walk Upright came into fruition, I had to write because I was fired from a job that I absolutely loved, was making wonderful money, and they waited 30 days to fire me for me being 1 minute late on a snow day a month before. So I'm degree.
Let's table that for 1 second. But I want to go back. I want to go back to the writing. And so I watched an interview with Oprah, and oh my gosh, why is her name How to Get Away with Murder? What is that name? Viola Davis. Okay. Phew. Yeah. So I watched it. And so she's written a book, and they both were talking about how, and I didn't realize Viola Davis was coming from she was not poor. She was pull. Yeah. Pull. Mm-hmm. And so they talked about how Oprah said teachers saved her, and Viola said a teacher saved her. Mm-hmm. So when you were in that environment and you were surrounded that, who even gave you the idea or the inkling that you could write, and that it was something that you could do? Who inspired you to do that?
I had two teachers, ironically. My third grade teacher, his name was Mr. Carlton Bacon. Mr. Bacon,
and shout out to teachers everywhere. Teachers changing the world.
Amazing. And then my fourth grade teacher, her name was Mrs. Dimple White. And when I say that, for whatever reason, they saw something in me, and they would just begin to kind of let me be the teacher's pet, and other students hated it, but they didn't realize that I needed that. They didn't realize that these teachers were really trying to pull me out of something or give me something else to look forward to, because they began to learn what I was going home to. So those teachers honestly kind of gave me that. And one day, one of my teachers just said, hey, you know what? We're going to do this writing exercise. And I was like, okay. And I forget what it was, but it was a very simple prompt. What is your perfect summer vacation? Something of that magnitude, because it was almost time for summer break. And I remember writing something about going to Disney World and then ending up in Paris. Now, here I am in the fourth grade with this mindset, I'm going to Disney and then I'm going to Paris, because as a child, you don't think about the distance. How, for whatever reason, she loved it. And even after I, went into higher grades, I would always stay in contact with her, always sneak into her room, and she would let me grade papers. So I always found myself with the pen, always just doing something, whether it was marking papers, correcting the spelling bee papers. And from there, just my love for writing, period, it just grew.
Just kind of blossomed from there. Yeah. How cool is that? How cool is that? And now you get to be that for people who hate to write. That is pretty awesome, right?
I love it.
Right? Nice. Okay. So you do a lot of different kinds of writing. So what's your favorite kind of writing to do? Like if I told you I have my magic wand out earlier, I'll keep it in my vest for right now. But if you could like pick the kind of project you would do day in and day out, you wouldn't eat, you wouldn't sleep, what would that project be? Like what kind of writing is that?
Ooh. So as crazy as this sounds, I have recently gained a greater love for helping people create gratitude journals or affirmation journals. Anything that, because people can write, it's easy to write. Even if you don't like to write, it's easy.
Says the writer. I'm just going to throw that out there. Says the writer.
Says the writer, right? So
it's easy to write. It's easy to do taxes.
No. Not at all. But I love to help people create things and write things that are affirming, that remind them, even in the worst of times, it reminds you, hey, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I've learned recently, even with gratitude or affirmation journals, helping people create declarations and affirmations and mantras that just kind of help them feel better, because the world is chaotic and we read enough bad stuff. So I love creating things that just put positivity into any atmosphere.
Very cool. All right. So now on that note, we can thank the employer that fired you, because would you have created Walk Upright if they hadn't let you go?
Probably not, because I was so comfortable. Like I've always known, I've been a writer, so I've always written. And even when I was on this job, I was writing songs. I was writing book ideas. I would jot stuff down, because the company that I worked for, we did background screening. So when people were, applying for jobs or trying to get into schools or what have you, we were the company that would call and verify your history, your education, all of that stuff, your references for like upper level companies and universities. So there were some days where it was hard to get people on the phone, and I would just sit at my desk and would just write. And before I knew it, I had written about 10 songs and about 7 poems. At the time, I had just gotten married. So I was like fresh into marriage, like 90 days, 120 days. Right. So I was writing poetry and kept writing my new name and all of this stuff. And, I honestly probably would not have, because that's it. All the time, just scribbling it. Like if you came to my desk, you knew this is Ebony Walker's cubicle, because her name was Ebony. But I honestly would not have, because I was comfortable. And I think we get stuck in being comfortable when there's a good price tag, not recognizing that while that money was good, there was something else waiting for me, but I was just too afraid to step out.
And it didn't fulfill you, like what you just talked about with gratitude journals. Like you are like with that, you're like, it didn't fulfill you that way. And that's kind of like, that is cool. So you should say, shout out to the company that fired me. Thank you.
Grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And like, they're not even in business anymore. So,
And just like a little segue on that, like, I know this is a little bit off topic, but I have had not that exact same thing, but very similar thing happened to me. Wow. And it was like 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, I was making $12.50 an hour, working a part-time job that I loved. Right? I loved it. I would have never left. Never. I was going through a crap divorce, and stuff happened that was beyond my control, and I'd been there for years, and they fired me a week after Christmas. Yeah. And they knew that they were gonna, and it was this whole thing. And I mean, since then, I don't think things have worked out very well for them, but like, look where I'm at. So like I'd just like to give a shout out to like things happening to shove you outside.
That's right.
Yes. So is that something? Yeah, we gotta own that, because sometimes when you're in it, you feel like it's the worst thing that ever could be happening. Yes. Like totally it messes with you, like how you feel as a person and what you think about yourself as a person. But if you just put that thing on and say, okay, now what do I really want?
Right.
And how can I really do it? It gets you the place where you are right now.
Absolutely.
So how did you come up with the company name?
Oh my goodness. So, well, obviously my last name is Walker. So for whatever reason, I just love using, words that to other people might not make sense. But one of the things that I am big on is being a woman of integrity, being a woman who walks upright. People make mistakes, things happen, but I don't ever want to appear crooked or, condescending or evil in any way. So walking upright is something that I genuinely try to do in my life, period, as a wife, as a mother, as a pastor, as an entrepreneur, just as a woman. So I was literally just kind of jotting down some stuff one day because I was working through a third-party freelancing company. And one of my clients was like, hey, you do know that you can be doing this for yourself and making all the money instead of paying the middleman. It was like a light bulb. Like, why didn't I think of that? Okay. So I, talked to my husband. I was like, listen, babe, I think I want to do this, da, 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 da. He was like, okay, what are you going to call it? I don't know. So I just started writing one day and the name Walk Upright just came to me, but right was spelled W-R-I-T-E. And it's because any writing that I do is upright. It's honest. It's plagiarism free. It's original. So even in my life walk to walk upright, my writing skills are upright as well.
Nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. So you had to crawl before you could walk, is what I just heard you say out of that story. Boom, boom.
I have something for that.
Yay. All right.
Yes.
So who is your perfect customer? Like, who is it, the person that you want to help? Like I said, you said the gratitude journals. And so but what is the person that needs that service? What do they look like? What are their struggles?
Well, number one, they look like a person who is no longer afraid to believe in themselves. Even if they don't know exactly what to do, they're ready to invest. And when people hear the word invest, they think, oh, well, it's about money. But you got to be willing to invest in you, whether it's time, money, skills.
Skin in the game, baby.
Just taking a chance.
You got to put some skin
Absolutely.
in the game.
So that, I would say that is the number one characteristic of any person. While I do have male clients, I do kind of lean more towards women with stories because just, and everybody has a story, women and men, but I just feel like there are a lot of women who have put on so many hats and they've tried to be superwoman for so many other people, whether they are the CEO or they are the cafeteria lady. Every single person has a powerful story, but some of them just don't quite know how to get it out and they want to get it out, but they're lost. So those types of people who are willing, even if they have to do it scared, they're willing to say, okay, you listen, I'm going to follow you. Just don't lead me down a rabbit hole. Those are the types of people that I love helping.
Okay, great. Now, how did you come to the realization, when you're in business for a minute, you understand people have to have skin in the game, and you get experience saying that sometimes offering something for free doesn't get you the same results because people, even when it's free, they don't show up or they don't take action. So what was the lesson that you learned that you knew that I'm going to have to require them to have some skin in this game before I work with them? Was there a lesson behind that?
Yes, there was. So I remember one unfortunate but fortunate lesson in particular. There was a young lady who I ended up doing a contest. I forget if it was Mother's Day last year or what the case was, but I did a contest and was basically like, listen, I know there are some moms with stories. One of the giveaways that I was going to do was a free consultation to help them create an affirmation journal or something that they could pass down to their children. So did this giveaway. This one person, she won. For about 2 weeks, I kind of had to chase her to get her to do her consultation. That was the number one red flag. When I finally did get her, it was like, okay, she was listening, but in her mind, she was like, okay, so how much of this are you going to do for free? And what do I have to pay for? Like her whole mindset in the process was just already like, well, if you gave the consultation for free and I'm a single mom and this, that, and the third, then you should just be willing. And I'm like, no, baby, I shouldn't just be willing to do anything. I'm being willing to help you, but do you even want to do this? And I said, well, if this is not for you, while you were one of the ones who won this prize, if it's not for you, then it's just not for you. And that's okay. You don't have to take me up on the offer, but please don't feel like I owe this to you. it's a gift. And I think that sometimes whenever people are not looking at it as a gift, but they look at it as something that you owe them, that can become dangerous. So that's when I realized, okay, you know what? As much as you want to help people, as much as you want to make sure that you can push them, everybody is not your assignment. You can't be everybody's superwoman, and everybody's not going to have that passion. So I took it seriously until I realized, okay, you are focusing on this chick too much. Let it go. So I just dropped it. I didn't reach out to her anymore.
And that's one of the, it's so hard, right? When you start doing and living like what you feel is your purpose,
right.
It's hard to just let
it go.
I kind of think leave people behind,
yes.
right?
Yes.
But like with the martial arts school, I can't make you come to class, but I can guarantee if you show up, I can get you results.
There you go.
And same thing with the coaching. I can't make you show up to your coaching appointments. I can't make you do like the work that you need to do outside of here, but if you commit with me, then I know we can do things. And when you're doing your purpose, I had to like dial myself back down with a former student the other day because all I kept hearing was like limiting belief. And I was like,
yes, it's too much.
But I was like, ooh, I got to dial that down. I'm going to scare him away again. Ooh, okay. Yeah. I was like, okay, so I won't make any phone calls or ask anybody to do anything for you. I got it. You're right.
It's like, okay.
But it took me like everything I had to like just stop.
Because you want to help.
So that's what makes
you want to help. You want to push, especially when you can see the goodness or the greatness in a person. It's like, come on, why can't you see this? Why can't you get this? Okay, I'm trying to show you hints. What's wrong? But like you said, you just have to say, okay, you know what? If you don't want it, I can never want it bad enough for you. You got to want it for yourself.
They're preaching to weird about like half of my Facebook clients, right?
Oh wow.
This is what I'm doing. I need you to do this. I need you to send me pictures. I need you to do something. And then like they do some, and then they do less, and then they do less, and then I'm like, and now, right? I'm chasing them around for really not that much money.
Hey, don't you guys feel sometimes like Jerry Maguire? Help me! Help you!
I was just about to say that.
When people join the chamber and then they're like, there's no value for this, I didn't make any money. And I'm like, you didn't come to anything.
You didn't do anything. See, it's like they feel like paying that fee is like their magic wand and boom, now make me prosperous. No, that's not how it works.
I'm gonna blame Staples with that stupid easy button.
That was easy.
I'm gonna blame Staples with the stupid easy button because that's what they think about. They think Facebook, oh, you just do this and it's easy. Oh, you just post and it's easy.
Not it.
But I mean, it's a vehicle. And so, like, I don't know. I've been in business for a long time, and so there was a time when Facebook didn't exist. I know, shock of the world. YouTube didn't exist. Right? Like there was no easy way to market you or to get instant results, right? Like the world that we're in right now, you can market and like do like 2 days later, you'll know if it's working or not working. You can make a change. While back, not that, I mean, I'm 29 forever. I'm just saying it was newspaper ads. It was direct mail.
Phone book.
It was phone book. It was like the paraglide. If you're in Fayetteville, it was the paraglide and you had to wait for the publication to come out before, and like you're investing money, not knowing if it's going to work. So I think, and for this is anyone who teaches business today, could you please like share that with them? Okay. That although it's anything, it's like anything else, it's a tool. And I know Casey knows this because she does marketing. The message and what you say is how important. And that's where like people like Ebony knowing how to write what you say, or working with those people to pull out what they really mean. So like we all work with customers on a different level. And for me, it's getting them to see and understand like, this is who you are, boo. Like, this is what you're good at. This is what you already have. And then helping them translate into a marketing message and helping them translate into content is what it takes all of us to create a successful business. But Staples and that damn easy button.
Well, and
they ruined it for all.
Marketing on Facebook, on Google, on what have you, pictures and videos are really, really big right now, and not pictures worth 1,000 words. But like after they click on that picture and they go to your website or your blog or your article, or they sign up for your newsletter, like guess what they're going to do now? They're going to read. And like, if you come across like a completely ignorant person, like you just wasted your money.
That's it.
You just completely wasted
It's
your money
over.
on that ad, on having people click to it because, right. And I'm sure Ebony is well versed in SEO and keywords, so that'll help your website too.
It pays.
Yeah. But, and then too, it's not even that. It's like not being certain, like not knowing your voice. And I think that's where Ebony can, like you really help people find your voice.
Absolutely.
And do it for them, where like, again, if they're not a good writer, but maybe they're a good speaker.
Right.
And you can listen to them and you can cue in and hear their voice.
Yes.
So like give us an example of someone that you work with where you help them do that.
Absolutely.
Like where they came to you sounding like Mr. Roboto and then they fit it in you and they're like, oh, that's me. That's who I am.
Yes. And
So give us an example of that.
The crazy thing is a lot of my, I don't want to say top tier clients, but those who are keynote speakers and who are major influencers, people would be amazed by the plethora of folks that we listen to on social media who genuinely like are just like blah until they meet someone like me who will help them find their voice. I have one client in particular who is a speaker, an author, and they also are a speaker coach, and they travel the world literally teaching other people how to speak and how to find their voice. But ironically, I'm the one that had to help them find their voice. So it's really weird in how they're so great at training other people and showing other people. But when it comes to themselves,
I was going to say, I love Kim Walsh-Phillips with Powerful Professionals because she says you can't read the label from inside the book.
That's good.
And that's why everybody needs somebody, because you could be the best at your job, but if you can't communicate that and like get it out to the world, no one's going to know.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's why people like Ebony are needed and Casey are needed, and to make sure that we're getting that message out. And I'm a Grant Cardone fan, and he says it's your duty to be successful,
right?
Because the world needs what
you're supposed to be,
right? And I'm a big believer in that, right? So was that person who did that, were they receptive, or did they fight you?
No, they were very receptive. And I've been working with this particular client for actually 5 years now, but they were extremely perceptive. And it was funny because when they're on stage, like you mentioned earlier, they're speaking like they're on point. They can do it. But when it comes to the written work, so when it came to their website, their email campaigns, even text messaging campaigns, any type of social media copy, it was just so, hi, follow me today. Hi, this is, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you get on stage.
Who is it?
Well,
so,
I get it though. Like, because even like from my point of view, like Tracy and I had a conversation just a little bit before you hopped on about some stuff that she's going to be helping me with, and it's marketing stuff. See? You know what I mean? And she's done it more. She's more comfortable with it, with her stuff. So she's going to come and help me. And like,
that's amazing.
It doesn't undermine me, right? That doesn't reduce my credibility because I need her help. And like, if you go look at my website, I will preach about blogs all day long about how important they are. Guess whose website doesn't have a single blog? Everyone else that I manage, they all have blogs, right? Yes. But that's what I'm doing. I'm doing theirs too. So like, I completely understand. It's really hard.
It can be hard whenever you're saving
really great social media ads for everyone else. Right. And then when it comes to mine, I'm just like, hey, here's a picture.
Listen, I understand. One of the things that I also do is social media content. So I have certain clients that I'll create their social, send it to them. They're cool. I'll schedule it for them. And then that's it. So ironically, this morning I was looking at my social media page like, dang, girl, you ain't posting nothing in a while. But I've been so busy posting for everybody else. It's like, it's just overwhelming. So now I'm like, okay, I need to find something. I need to post something. I need to say something, do a video, a reel or something. But I've got like 10 clients. Their social media is on and popping. Mine is like,
right there with you.
And that's why we all need to help each other.
Absolutely.
Right? We all need to help each other, and we all need to support each other.
Whenever anybody like asks me for a referral, I'm like, here are the pages I manage. Here are the pages I manage.
There you go.
And here's
Don't
my
look at my page, but look at their page. Don't look at mine, because if you look at mine, you're going to be like, you're not doing it. Shh, I'm working.
You could just say, this is what I do for my clients.
There you go. There you go.
This is what I do for my clients. All right. So what is the best way for people to get a hold of you? How do they get to come into your world? And let you help them find their voice? What should they do?
So listen, I am all over social media. I have personal as well as business. Either way, you can contact me, Ebony Walker. You can find me at I am E Walker on Instagram. Also walk_upright, because someone had the nerve to try and take my name, but walk_upright on Instagram. But just search for me, Ebony Walker or Walk Upright. You won't find another Walk Uprighter out there, and just connect with me. Mm-hmm. My website is also www.walkupright.com. That is UPWRITE.
And I have a note in here about anybody who wants to reach out to you and schedule a consultation from listening to today's podcast. Mm-hmm. We'll get a free 15-minute consultation.
That's right. That is right. Absolutely. So if you are a speaker, if you need social media help, if you want to write a book or create a journal, you will get a free 15-minute consult with me that will just consist of pulling out what you think you want to do, and then me giving you some direction, and then creating a package for you.
Nice. Ebony, it was such a pleasure to have you on today. And as always, we are looking for interesting, amazing women going out there in our community and worldwide that are living their passion, helping other people do that. That's who we want to elevate. That's who we want to highlight. So if you are that woman, or you know a woman like that, please reach out to us. Get it on our calendar so we can elevate you and what you do.
Yes.
All right.
And this is a tribe. Not a competition. So go out there and fix someone's crown today.
That's right. That's
knock
right.
it off.
Right. We leave no woman behind. No woman behind. No.
So come on. You don't have to be left behind unless you want to. If you don't want to go, then.
Right. Yeah, we'll pick you up on the second lap, right? We'll pick you up on the
You will have figured out you want to join by that part.
Yes.
That's right. All right, Ebony, it was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it. Have an amazing, amazing day. Keep elevating.
You too.
Thank you.